right, and good afternoon, and welcome, beautiful souls of light and love. How are we doing today? You are enjoying my ride to work, parts of it, and there we go, guys. How gorgeous is that, right? This is my universe. What's your universe? What's your ride to work look like? Send us a video. Mr. Floyd's channeling at gmail.com. Mr. Floyd channelings at gmail.com. We're going to flip that email address here shortly. There's a few things. I need to take a business day, so to speak. Well, just sit down and do some things. But welcome to Ramblings with Mr. Floyd. We're already rambling. My name is Josh, or my channel name was Mr. Floyd's Universe, Mr. Floyd, and now we're Mr. Floyd's Universe. And so welcome. If you're new here, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for when I go live, which is Monday through Friday, in the dawning at 8 a.m. East Coast, 4 a.m. a favor, 5 a.m. I should say, if you're in the Pacific Coast. But yeah, I don't know. So how are we doing today? Feeling pretty good. I don't know about you, but let's talk about healing trauma. Because why not? We did the I am last time. Today we will talk about healing trauma and realizing through your realize versus your trauma eyes, right? So when we talk about the real eyes, here, let me flick. Hola, que pasa? We're headed to work there. So welcome, guys. Grateful to ride along with you. Have you riding along with me, I should say. But yeah, so let's flip this around. The scenery is better than me. At least it's just as amazing watching. There we go. All right, so from my end, talking about realize, right? So when we realize through our realize, right? So a lot of our universe is coming into realizations, right? Realizations. There you go. About what happened, what we are, what trauma, what isn't trauma, and all of that stuff, right? And so on your end, when you have a realization, are you realizing your universe from your trauma eyes? And here's the question: do you understand? Do you even realize your trauma eyes? That's going to be the question. Stand back for a minute and think about that. I'm going to pause, right? So let's. No, really. When you're looking at, thinking about these things, are you seeing things from your eyes or from the eyes of your trauma? From the eyes of source love, right? So you see it as source love. You see it as all lesson for you. You see it as what it really is, that people did. They're broken themselves, and whatever they did. You might have helped aid that brokenness, don't get me wrong, but they choose to react how they do. But nonetheless, you get the idea, right? And so what we're getting at is, do you see things as traumatic? Are you standing in the trauma body, so you realize through the trauma eyes, right? The trauma body. Or are you standing in the source body, the vibration of the love body, the vibration of the light body? Are you standing outside of the traumas, the dramas, the mama, papa dramas, and all of your dramas that you've dragged into through your universe, the guilt, the shames that you're carrying with you? Are you standing in that, or are you standing in the frame of love, light, healing, and understanding, seeing that everybody has their own stuff they're dealing with, and whatever they've done, you would say to you, has really been done for you and for your highest and best good, right? So how are you, here we go, better view. How are you seeing that in your universe is the question. I can't answer that for you. So where are you standing? And can you stand and realize where you realize, right? Where you are standing. If you're in a code of trauma and pain, you're only going to stand in the vibration that the trauma and pain will allow you to stand in. You won't go any further. If you're healing from that trauma, you're only going to stand in the vibration that of how far you've healed. And that's based on either if you're going through therapy or through just having epiphanies on your own and revelations, and then doing the work yourself. Whatever it is for you, maybe doing Reiki or having readings, whatever it is. And we don't judge. Whatever you do for your healing is your healing. It's your path, right? But whatever, are you standing then in the real eyes and not seeing through the trauma lens? That's the question as well, because if you can see, remove the lens, like taking off your glasses or taking off a pair of sunglasses, right? Then you would see clearly, right? You wouldn't have the tint over your eyes, but you have the tint to block, to make it so you're not squinting, right? Because the sun can be, especially this white sun, can be quite bright. But are you seeing through that lens, the trauma lens, or are you clear and seeing through your bright and super amazing source love eyes that you are. That is the question of the day in this ramblings. And that's the question I'm asking of you to look into for yourself. How are you viewing, and it goes to framing your universe based on how you are seeing it. Are you realizing how you are creating your universe? Are you realizing then how you are framing your universe, or how it's framing itself? That's something that only you can answer for you. But from this person's end here, I can tell you from my experience, it takes a lot of layers, right? Because everything's like a coat, like a pair of sunglasses. Let's use it that way. So you have the darker frame or a darker lens, right? So you have a lens where you can barely see, it's almost pitch black, right? And you can barely almost see anything. You go to the next lens, it's a little clearer, till you get all the way down and you're not wearing sunglasses at all and it's totally clear. Or your sunglasses and you are in a perfect alignment. That's the question. What shade are your glasses? What shade are your sunglasses? Where are you standing? Do you know? If you're in the trauma body, and you're peeling it away, you may find a level that you think, wow, this is amazing. I didn't know I could clear this. And then that falls away. Well, what happens is that you go through multiple layers, right? So one layer leads to another layer, which leads to another layer. So you're consistently changing the lens in your sunglasses. So what lens are you wearing today? And where do you stand within the trauma body or the light body? Is your lens pretty, are you seeing pretty clearly? It may not be perfect, and it never is. We never totally clear the trauma. Keep that in mind. The trauma body is always going to be a part of us. We can't get rid of it or say we've cleared it. We stand with it, and it stands integrated within us, right? But so from your end, what shade is your sunglass lens, right? How dark is it? Or how bright is it? And only you can assess that. But are you, and I want to ask you this, we're headed towards Golden, Colorado. Are you able to assess that for yourself? So that's what this ramblings is all about today, guys. Assessing for yourself. And the way to do that, honestly, is to look at your patterns, to slow down, right? Slow down. And to look inside yourself and see how you are reacting. You are the one that creates the patterns in your universe. It's not easy, and this is what I'm doing myself. So I can only give you the information based on what I'm doing, and I would only recommend based, what I do and what works for me. So what I'm doing in myself is realizing through my real eyes, not my trauma eyes. Show me through my real eyes when I'm out of skew now, because I've been generally in my real eyes, right? Show me that I'll be able to see when I'm out of skew in my trauma eyes versus sitting in my real eyes, right? And so my real eyes are always with me. You always have your real eyes. It's how much trauma is in front of you that allows you to see through the real eyes or the trauma eyes. And sometimes it's a mix of both, right? Knowing that your source, in my end, no, I know that I'm source, but there are times that I know that I got a bottle over here. There we go. Body armor. But if you read the ingredients, it's actually really good for what it is. It's the plastic I don't like, but nonetheless. Okay, so it's realizing where you are, what shade your lenses are, and where you're standing within the trauma versus the healing, and that you are source and not trauma, and where you balance into that, and the patterns. So it's looking into your patterns. There we go. And where your patterns are you exploding on somebody? Are you having an adult temper tantrum? For myself, am I speaking karmically to people, specific people? Am I holding old patterns when I talk to somebody, or am I not? Can I just be myself like I am now, right? And so in certain things, I know and I can see, because I've cleared enough, or things have fallen away, that I can see what's sitting around as trauma and what's not, or what needs to be cleared, right? What is coming through my trauma lens and what's coming through my clear lens. So that's your homework, guys. I can't do this for, as far as, I can do it for you, but you have to do this for yourself. And it's just really assessing, and maybe journaling at night as well, where you exploded or didn't explode. Did you yell at Bob? We use Bob as the fictitious boss, right? So did you yell at Bob on your way to work? Did you get yelled at today for having too many, not doing the cover sheet for your TPS reports by 5 separate bosses? that's the question you have to ask yourself. How did you then react to that? Did you come from the trauma body where your parents were always criticizing you, and so now you're relating Bob to your parents, right? And so Bob is your dad, who's always criticizing you for this or that, or saying that you came shortcomings and whatnot, or you come up short. And so now Bob triggers that energy within you, your boss, and you start flipping out on Bob, right? So, which you don't want to really do, right? So those are the things that you want to look at is, are you throwing an adult temper tantrum with Bob? Or an anger, a frustration that you had with your dad with Bob? So yeah, maybe your dad was hypercritical and Bob's hypercritical on your reports, right? And so then you blow up in front of Bob like, look, I did the best I could, damn it. And those sorts of things, right? And so that's not what you really want to do, but exactly. So in that aspect, that's what we're asking and talking about today is, are you to see that, and are you able to, there we go, let's get to work now that we're out of like the more excitement stuff here. Are you able to see that? Are you living within that, or are you living within the trauma and still expressing the trauma through actions to other people when they have nothing to do with it? But you're standing still in that and bringing that, expressing that trauma reaction to them and presenting yourself as that. I did that for 50 years, didn't even realize it. Because I was standing in the trauma body. I was standing and looking through my trauma eyes, through the vibration of the trauma, not looking through the vibration of source as being source. Although I intrinsically understood I was source, I was so filled with trauma that I couldn't do anything in my current universe or in that universe to pull myself to actually feel or react as you would if you were not trauma as being source, right? And so in that aspect, it comes from a lot of peeling the onion, right? And sitting there and doing the work as well. Are you allowing yourself to sit in the traumaed eyes, in the trauma body, or are you truly doing the work and seeing where you're acting out? Looking into your patterns, looking into what is your source traumas, maybe even getting a past life regression session to put it all together. So you can see what that source trauma is. Mine was abandonment. And so it all ties together. And as those things tie together, I don't feel as abandoned. I don't feel abandoned anymore. I used to do some certainly karmic things to my friends because I felt that I would be abandoned. I'm not. I'm not at all abandoned. I'm the only one who abandoned myself and gives my power away. So we all do those things, and that's what we're looking at here, seeing those patterns in yourself. So that's what I wanted to put out today and ramble about, and hopefully it didn't sound too rambly. We climb up here towards work. If you know where this is, favor to you, you can put that into the comments there. I was going to say the chat because they're generally live. We're going to do something that generally you don't do, but the road makes a right here. None of these trucks are going up. Can legally go up the road I'm going here, and you'll see why. I'll take you up to the road that I turn here. That takes me towards Red Rocks, and maybe we'll even get you through the gates. So ride with me a little bit more. We don't have too much further to go, and I'll take you into Red Rocks. I'll take you up to where I work, and yeah. So if you make it this far in the video, past that, then grateful. But you certainly understand here. But yeah, so we're going to make it right here onto Heritage Road, and that takes you, it's raining, and of course, at least it's not pouring, and the old man is not snoring, right? Don't bump your head. That's for sure. But all right, so this is the craziest road over here. We'll just ramble here for a bit. But as we go up here, you'll see why this road at dark, the first time I took it and dropped the water bottle, I almost hit the median, the circle here. You'll see what I mean. You'll see exactly what I mean here. It's kind of insane. There we go. Hi. Let's take some beverage here. But how are you seeing your universe? What are you standing in, the trauma or the healing? And if you're still in the trauma, that is totally okay. The only question is, can you realize that you're in the trauma? Probably not, until the trauma starts to fade away, and then you'll realize that you were in the trauma state. That's what's goofy about it all, is that you can't totally see it until you see it. And because you're wrapped within it. If it's a really hardcore pattern, you won't know. I had no idea. That's just how I thought I was. All right, so this is, here we go. All right, so welcome to the Circle of Death. Now, this circle is crazy. All right, I love it. Yeah, right, and there's more concrete. All right, so here we go. We roll up, and there's another one, and then we roll up, there's another one, and I think there's only 3. But, yeah, so favor, they did stop signs, but we got giant raised concrete circles here. So let's go up to the next one, and you shall see how different this road is, especially first time I encountered it. And it's on this giant slant too. It's on a hill, right? So we're driving through Golden, Colorado. But so yeah, here we go. Traffic hump. All right, so let's enter the roundabout, right? Doing the roundabouts. There we go. All right. Yes, the roundabout comes to mind. All right, so here comes the rain. So, fortunately, once I get to work, I'm not going to be doing anything for like an hour plus. So, but I will have to speak up as the rain in Spain is falling heavily on the plane here. Yeah, so all right, so there we go. It's the third roundabout, and now let's go to Red Rocks here. We should be at in just a few moments, and then we will end the video here. But let's hit the wipers. Let's do one of these guys. There we go. Ah! But here's the sun in front of us, so who the heck knows what it's going to be doing, but at the moment it's raining. But actually we're going to swing that down because it's raining a little more than we want. Alright, so here we go, guys. In the